Hi everyone, it's Monday morning. Just wanted to stop in and give a quick update, recap yesterday and what's happened so far today. Yesterday, Justin was able to get up and walk about 30 feet, which was awesome. It tired him out. He had to sit down and rest afterwards. He was pretty short of breath, but he is really pleased with that and happy. He did not get up and walk again the rest of the day because he's having problems with dizziness and lightheadedness. So he ended up really needing to stay in bed, and they were again looking at his heart, monitoring things, setting a backup rhythm for the different chambers of the heart, which I think I mentioned in yesterday's update, because his heart isn't totally picking up and doing all the work that it needs to be doing to keep his blood pressure up and so forth. It is beating on its own. He's not relying on the pacemaker continually, so his heart's working. Right now, it's just a question of watching that. As of yesterday, it was just a question of continuing to watch that. I didn't end up getting any footage of him walking because I had to be gone for a few hours during the day with my kids and to do a couple of errands. So last night when I saw him, he was doing okay. They'd taken him off of most of his IVs, and they were going to have him sleep, but they were going to have to come in every hour on the hour and take blood and do some other things. So as it turned out, he did not sleep well during the night, which is too bad, because that's the other thing that's troubling him besides the dizziness from the low blood pressure. Is he's just not only healing fatigue, but feeling, sleep deprived fatigue. So I know he'll be happy when that doesn't have to happen anymore. So fast forward to today, Dr. Ravi, our HCM specialist, came in and visited us first thing.
Oh. Yeah, just tired. I was up all night last night because they
Party?
Exactly. And they were poking my finger every hour on the hour.
For your insulin?
Yeah.
Okay.
That sucked.
Otherwise, how you feeling?
Okay. I
Breathing's
still
okay?
got some breathing stuff that's still a little hard. I've been using my thing to try to get the balls all up.
Good. That's going to be really important to because your lungs get all compressed.
Yeah, I can feel that. It feels like it.
So open it right back up. How about any difficulty breathing while laying down or while sleeping?
Yeah, well, in certain positions.
From
it
pain
just gets
mostly?
heavy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about when walking around? How did that feel?
That felt a little better yesterday as I did a little bit of it.
Good. Happy to hear. So far, everything is kind of progressing in the right way.
Okay.
So that was the first part of Dr. Robbie's visit. He went on to let us know that he does think Justin's going to have a pacemaker installed before he leaves this visit with the hospital. This is again because his heart is just not keeping up the pressure that's required. Everything seems to be working. The heart murmur is gone. The backflow through the mitral valve is gone, but he is probably going to have a pacemaker. And here I'll let Dr. Ravi and Justin's conversation, kind of do the talking. So give you a listen to that clip.
The only sort of issue that we're dealing with right now, well, two of them. One is your kidneys got a little bit worse today.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's funny because it got really good when I was in here earlier. In the
so how much of it is kind of delayed after surgery sort of effect, or you've been getting some diuretics here on and off. So did we either take off too much or not enough? It's kind of hard to.
Right.
It's usually one or the other. So I think, for now I might just not do anything and just kind of see where it goes.
Okay.
The other issue, probably the bigger, more pressing issue that we will have to address this admission, is your heart rate has basically been, I know it's always been low, but it usually rises up when you walk or when you exercise.
Right.
Yours has has been staying flat.
Gotcha.
And so that could be what we call chronotropic incompetence, and just that in the sense your response to exercise, everyone's response to exercise is your heart rate going up. Stress, exercise, whatever it is, your heart rate should go up. But the fact that yours isn't is kind of this, the response to physiological stress is just not. What that means is I think we're going to need to put a pacemaker in.
Gotcha.
So after telling us that Justin would need a pacemaker, we went on to ask a couple quick questions about, what would the timing of that be? He said it would be during this admission to the hospital, but it would depend on when electrophysiology could install the pacemaker. and that it could be tomorrow or the day after. And then, let's see, he gave us a little bit of interesting good news about the fact that Justin would be having a pacemaker, which I'll let him do the talking here again.
And that also helps us a little bit because, moving forward, if this, we talked about the valve, that leaflet being long, and Dr. Swanson did, stitch it so that it doesn't create as much of an obstruction, a significant decrease. But for whatever reason, you get an infection, you're dehydrated for some reason, that obstruction can come back. It's dynamic. Being with the pacemaker, it means we can put medicines on board to kind of prevent that from happening. So
Gotcha.
the beta blockers we were not able to use before, now
Right.
we can use them. So it opens up the options in terms of medicines that we can use. Now, I'd never advocate to put that in just to use those medicines, but since
Right.
you're needing an indication for it,
Right.
it makes life a little bit easier. Overall, feeling better.
Every day, a little better.
Every day, a little better.
Yep.
Give it a, the first week, you're going to feel like ass.
Yeah. No.
You are.
Yeah.
Within a month, you're gonna feel pretty damn good.
Good.
Okay.
That's the important part.
And so that's part of why we love Dr. Ravi. He just has a personality and he's awesome. He's relatable and fun, and he really cares. So about a half hour after that visit from Dr. Ravi, he came back in and he said he'd spoken to the electrophysiologist and another person on the team, another surgeon on the team, and they are not going to proceed with the pacemaker for right now. They're going to give it another day or two. There's still the opportunity to have it installed before he leaves this visit. They want to give his heart a little bit more time, just a little bit more time to try and catch up on its own and start beating and keeping the pressures up and responding to physical movement like it should. To keep him from being dizzy and get him back on his feet. So I'm going to pause right there for a second and take you to some photos of Justin. I went back to the room right after finishing this recording, and he was ready to walk again. So here's a little photo essay of him walking, starting out in the chair, then the nurse helping him stand up, and then pretty soon he was kind of standing on his own holding his heart pillow, and he headed out into the hall, and here's a video of that. He's going to come out of his room. It is Monday at 10:55 a.m. He's doing pretty good. And he walked for about 5 or 7 minutes and made it down the hallway. Quite a bit further than last time. I don't know, he probably walked 60 or 80 feet. And here he is returning back to his room. He did a really good job. He said it took a lot of thought and concentration. He made it back to his chair and reclined, but he did great. So I'm going to head back into his room. I went back and left and came back and wanted to record a little bit more of this. So before I say goodbye, I wanted to pause. Dr. Swanson, Justin's cardiothoracic surgeon, came in and visited us also right after this. And here's a clip from that visit.
I'm sure Dr. Ravi probably chatted with you. We took a lot of muscle to open that up, and then your mitral valve looked fine, except for when we kind of goosed it like you were riding a bike up a hill.
Right.
And then it wanted to leak a whole bunch.
Oh.
So I went ahead and did kind of a fancy repair. It's in the operative note. It's called an Alfieri stitch. Yeah. So kind of hooked the two leaflets together to pull them out of the way. And then when we goosed the heart, it didn't leak really at all. So I think you'll feel much better riding your bike. I'm not sure why your heart's so slow, but it makes plenty of blood pressure. And I think it will come around and be fine. I don't think we're going to end up with a pacemaker.
Okay.
And Dr. Ravi talked to the rhythm specialist, and they had the same opinion.
Okay.
It's just taking its sweet time.
Sure.
And it doesn't really need to go any faster. I bet if you had a cup of coffee and, was jogging down the hall, I bet we could get it to go faster.
Right. Of course.
So Justin's kind of napping in his chair next to me. I thought I'd just pop in and say one more thing. Post visits from the doctors, we're happy that he is not imminently going to receive a pacemaker. We're open to that if it becomes necessary. It sure sounds like Dr. Swanson doesn't think it's necessary, but you can see this is sort of an up and down journey all the way. It's just hard to know where we're going from one moment to the next, and that's okay. We're trying not to have expectations. We're thankful Justin was able to get up and walk around more today. I'm thankful right now he's had some pain medication and that seems to be kicking in. They are going to come in and remove some of the tubes that are inside of him. We think that one tube particular that's in his side is poking him and causing pain that prevents him from taking really deep breaths. So we're looking forward to having that done this afternoon. I probably won't update again today. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see how things go. Thank you all again. I will say goodbye from this point, and thank you for your continued prayers and support and checking in. We appreciate you all.